Hello everyone, and there is an interesting development here. So the CAT notification is out one day before it is supposed to be out. So the notification itself says 26th of July, but it is out on their official website at this point in time. So you can simply go to iimcat.ac.in that you can see here, and you will see that everything has been updated to CAT 2026. You also have IIM Guwahati here as we speak. You can download last year's scorecard and you have all the details here. So the registration is going to start from the 3rd of August, that is Monday, 10 a.m. and it is going to continue till the 15th of September, Tuesday. The 4th of November is when the admit cards will be out, and the 29th of November is when the test is going to be. So the test date is officially out now. Now, if you look at these two documents, these are very important. So the eligibility document is there and there is an information bulletin. Let's look at each one of them. So the eligibility document is fairly straightforward. It is very similar to what it used to be earlier as well. So for general category candidates, EWS candidates, the minimum scores in their graduation needs to be 50%, and even OBC candidates. But for the SC, ST and PWD candidates, the cutoff is 45% in their graduation. There is a small caveat, especially for CAs, wherein they can use their CA score instead of their graduation score, but very few people avail that facility. Now, in terms of these things, you should either have completed the bachelor's degree at any point in time before the notification, or they would be completing their graduation sometime in 2027. Now, people who are going to pass out in 2027 can apply for the CAT, but that is on a provisional basis. Now, it does not mean anything scary as such. It just means that you have to finish your degree before you join the B school, which basically means you have to pass all your final exams if you are in your final year. So that needs to happen. Also, if you would have completed a professional degree, CA, CS, ICWA, CMA, or FIAI, then you are again eligible for the CAT, and the required percentage has to happen, right? So for general EWS, NC, OBC, the cutoff is 50% in terms of the graduation score. There is no cap on the 10th and 12th standard marks that you would have scored. Now, in terms of the percentage marks, how to calculate and how to calculate a GPA, everything is generally given on your mark sheet. On your graduation mark sheets, it is generally given. Every university follows more or less their own way of conversion. So understand what your university conversion looks like, and then you will be able to handle this well. In terms of reservation, again, the reservations are as it is in terms of the IIMs as well, but that is something that comes a bit later. Now, in terms of PWD as well, you have all these things that are there. Again, have a look at it if you are eligible for under this particular head. Now, in terms of these things that we have, in terms of the category certificates, you have to upload the category certificates. If you fail to upload, then that will lead to rejection in the candidate's CAT registration. So it has to be valid. It has to have the right serial number and everything. So once the registration starts, we will also have a session which will talk about how to register for the CAT. So there we can talk about these things as to what the number should look like. Now, in terms of the information bulletin, you can see all the programs that are there. Now, the breaking news is that the CAT is going to happen on the 29th of November, Sunday, of course, but 3 sessions, which basically means that we are going to have 2-hour tests again, and most probably you are going to have 40 minutes sections, timed sections. So the pattern is mostly going to remain the same as it was last year and the year before that and the year before that and many years before that as well. So you can see all the programs that are present that you can apply for through the CAT. So I am Ahmedabad, Amritsar, Bangalore, Bodh Gaya, Calcutta, Guwahati, Indore, Jammu, Kashipur, Kozhikode, Lucknow, Mumbai, Nagpur, Raipur, Ranchi, Rohtak, Sambalpur, Shillong, Sirmaur, Tiruchirappalli, Udaipur and Visakhapatnam. So all these are the IIMs that are there, and there are quite a few programs. I generally recommend people to select all the programs and let them decide whether you want to be considered or whether you should be considered or not, instead of you sitting and deciding which program to apply for and which program to let go of, because it creates unnecessary hassle at the end of the year. If there was a program that you would have been interested in, but now you're not applied, because of which you're not eligible for a shortlist. So don't do that. Apply to all the programs, because the cost of the notification covers all the, or the cost of application covers all the programs. Now, in terms of FPM or PhD, again, almost all the IIMs have a PhD program, so you can check that out in case you are interested in any of them. And of course, there will be other advertisements that will be there. The criteria will be made available separately. So all those things will happen a bit later, but for now we just have the registration process information. Now in terms of what is going to happen, we already checked the eligibility document. So again, it's the same information that we have here. Reservation, we have the same information that we had in the eligibility document. The important thing is present here, that the fee for the CAT is going to be 1350 for SC, ST and PWBD candidates, whereas for other candidates, general, OBC, EWS, it's going to be 2700. Now it has been a very contentious issue that if someone is from NC, OBC and EWS, why should they be paying as much as general candidates? Now that is an issue that has been going on for a long time, but I don't think it has been made it into such a big deal that people get impacted, because of which now it's 2700 for all these candidates as well. Now in terms of the registration, as we saw, 3rd August 2026, it will open at 10 a.m. It will continue till 5 p.m. on September 15, 2026. I will recommend that to get done with the registration as early as is possible. There is no criteria, there is no correlation between when you apply and which center are you going to get. So it's not as if you apply on the first day you are going to get the center of your choice. It does not work that way. It is mostly a random thing that is there. You will have 5 options this year to choose from. You can select your preferences, and depending on the availability, when your number comes in front of the algorithm, that is basically when it will decide which center to send you to. Now this is completely randomized from what I know. There have been situations when I have applied on the last day and my center has been like 10 minutes away from my home. There have been situations when I have applied on the first day and my center has been like 50 kilometers from my home. So all kinds of funny things happen. But make sure that you get done with the registration as quickly as is possible. Don't wait for the last date, because sometimes your documents don't get approved, your documents might get rejected. There might be some issues in terms of your candidature and everything. Sometimes you might not end up getting the center of your choice, and you might blame it on you registering on the last day. So don't let all those things happen. Register as early as is possible for you, and make sure that you're filling in the correct details. A lot of people don't fill their details correctly, because of which they have to spend money twice and fill another form. Sometimes they make a mistake in their name, the spelling, the date of birth, category, 10th standard marks, 12th standard marks, graduation marks, and so on and so forth. So make sure that you're paying utmost attention to your form filling and not filling it very casually. Sometimes people fill best of 4, best of 5 marks in their boards, but then you are supposed to take the percentage, the aggregate of all the subjects that are there. So all those things will be made available to you a week from now. When the registration starts, there will be another document that will talk about how to apply to the CAT. And in terms of test centers, approximately 170 test cities, very similar to what it was like last year. And then they can decide to add, remove, merge, do all those things in terms of their test city center, and or change the test time, date at their discretion. This is all boilerplate stuff to keep them away from litigation, but otherwise this is basically how what it looks like. Now CAT 26 score is going to be made available on in the first week of Jan 2027, but typically we have seen that it kind of gets released in the last week of December, mostly before that, and even sometimes around the last attempt of the snap. So mostly it's going to happen that way this year as well. So all these things are there. You have to have an email account, you have to have a phone number, and that's basically how the communication will happen. So now it's time to get serious, guys. So if you have not been preparing for the CAT, you have been waiting for the notification, now is the time that to start preparing for the test. Do check out our programs in the description box below. There are a lot of courses for all of you. If you are struggling with any one section, we have a course for you. If you are struggling with all the sections, we have a bigger course for you. If you want to prepare for the NMAT, SNAP, CET, XAT, we have courses for you. So check out all the courses by using the link in the description box below, and do sign up for our Telegram channel for daily prep as well as for notifications and other updates in terms of the application process and even B school admission processes in general. Wish you all the best, and let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts in terms of CAT registration, and I'll try my best to help you with your queries.